Hey everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time for our level 54 Astrologian quest. Our minion for today is Noko from the Yokai Watch event. Hello there, Janna Kanar. How does it go for you? Janna Kanar appears to have information on your next symposium. The Vault went and outdid themselves. The location for our next symposium? The Convictory, a makeshift camp for a band of bickering knights. I've spoken at length with Lady Laviva about how we might handle this second inconvenience so as not to meet the same fate we did in Falcon's Nest. I fear the worst, but the lady believes that we may be approaching this all wrong, that we should embrace the situation and use it to our advantage. I believe she is merely unaccustomed to the thin alpine air and her wits are not in order. Perchance we should make for the camp and see for ourselves. Alright then, on to the Convictory! Honestly, that would put us working directly with knights out in the field. That would be an opportunity to demonstrate to knights in the field how astrologians can be useful in combat. We could basically try what we tried last time again, but this time with knights who are more likely to be... It is more likely that knights who are present will contain knights who are actual knights and may be willing to listen to us. Am I being naively optimistic? Perhaps. Yeah, that's what I thought. Please let me land. Nope. I know you can land early if you hit dismount at the right when you're over the ground. But unfortunately, you take forever to get over the ground. I just wanted to fly over to the Convictory. Alright, you know what? I'll just meet you at the Convictory. Oh, it is actually really disturbing to be flying past this area and see just a giant skeleton of an ancient dragon. Massive dragon, just kind of laying there on top of the cliff. Anyways, now approaching the Convictory, let's go have our symposium. And I suppose that we'll just have to make the best of it. Terrible joke, I'm so sorry. I arrived not moments ago to find this. What in the furious name has happened here? Sure seems like you got attacked. Oh no. You okay, Quimperain? Tread lightly, Satora. This is not the work of bandits. Quimperain's hurts were dealt by the Convictors. You were assaulted by the men sworn to protect us. This is madness. The Vault led the knights to believe that a party of astrologians would be arriving to aid them in scrying the location of the Horde's next attack. They took out their frustration on poor Quimperain when they learned I can foretell the whims of a dragon about as well as I can those of Janna Kanar. But no, we must not let this discourage us. If words have no weight with these men, then let our magics do the speaking. Damn it! The Vault just straight up lied to them! Great! Set us up for failure, of course they did. Alright then. You're all getting healed whether you like it or not. But you're an astrologian, you can't heal people, that's not what astrologians do. Yeah, it is. I just did it. You, get your ass up. You're not hurt anymore. My wounds, it is as if they were never there. Wait, who's going to believe that I slew a dragon if I haven't the wounds to show for it? I don't know whether to thank you or slit your throat. Though I suppose I wouldn't be able to do either if you hadn't healed me with those queer magics, so this day, I see fit to forgive you. Forgive you for healing me, he says. Right, I forgot they're all fucking out of their minds. The pain, it's gone. How did you... Yeah, Convictors, yeah, they're kind of not... They're frustrating people. I forgot that. Close your eyes. Soon it will all be over. Ah, better. Are you putting him out of his misery? Please do. You. What is wrong, Leviva? Have you tapped too deeply into your mental reserves? Perhaps you should take a moment of respite. That blood is not the knight's. Ah, the loyal lapdog. Without you to say the obvious, where would your masters be, pray tell? You again! One might think these markings would betray my identity, but you Eorzeans have a singular capacity to look without seeing. I am amazed you are not constantly wandering into bonfires or off cliffs. I have grown weary of this masquerade, and I am done with entrusting my fate to this realm's blundering mercenaries. My name is Silly, and I am here to take the Lady Leviva into custody so she can be transported back to Charlotte and tried for her crimes. Taken into custody on whose authority? You are here without permission of the Forum, performing acts which amount to treason. Your grandfather has already been detained and questioned. I am giving you the opportunity to turn yourself in and put an end to this farce once and for all. Do as I say and no one will be harmed, yourself included, Lady Leviva. But Lady Leviva, I thought you and your grandfather were dispatched on an official expedition. It seems that Leviva has not told you everything. Did you know that it was her father who was killed nearly 15 summers past? 15 summers past, Janikanar. Your adventure friend seemed to have already put two and two together. Why shouldn't I tell you earlier, I cannot fathom. What else are they leaving you out of, Janikanar de Durandare? But silence! I thought he figured it out, honestly. I thought it just took him a bit. This is my final warning. When you see me again, you'll either give yourself up or you will die at my blade. Think on that, Leviva. Satora, Lady Leviva's wound is deep. I do not believe I can heal it on my own. Lend me your aid. Seriously, Selly has kind of distinctive tattoos. How did you miss that, Leviva? In my defense, I was busy distracted with other people who I was healing. Thank you, my friends. For someone who claims she was hired to bring me back to Charlie, and her aim was quite true. Lady Leviva, this Selly claimed that you are not here with the blessing of the Forum. Is this so? Why did you not see fit to mention this? My grandfather knew the Forum would never allow us to come to Ishgard, and that their contemplation over the matter was merely a tactic to stall and discourage us. The stars had spoken to my grandfather, and he was not about to turn a deaf ear to them. I kept silent because I did not wish to let the petty politicking of men, thousands of miles to the north, stand in the way of our dream. Our dream to spread the word of Charlian astrology. And such was my father's dream, until he was killed for it by close-minded peasants. But Rufin never once spoke ill of those he wished to enlighten, even at his end. How do you know my father's name? Your father and I became close friends when I was in Charlian. When the Exodus forced me to return home, he asked if he could accompany me, saying that he wished to try and convince those who once believed in the star's power to look to the skies again. And we did for several moons. My countrymen were deeply skeptical and slow to warm to the idea of heathen magics. Some were even rude, but he never gave up on them, right up until he was... I was there during your father's last moments. I heard a commotion come from his room late one night and went in to check, only to find him bleeding and slumped over his diary, which he was writing when he was attacked. With his last strength, he handed me the diary and asked that I do not blame my people and that I continue our work. I believe this belongs with you now. I do not know if I can forgive those who killed my father. I do not expect you to forgive us yet, but knowing that he did, even at the moment of his death, perhaps will help you one day understand. You have always reminded me of Rufin even before I knew he was your father. Your passion for your discipline equals his own, or may even exceed it. Father, did you know what fate awaited you in this realm? Did you see all this? Did the stars have you merely paved the way for me? If they did, then I shall not allow anyone to stand in your way. You are right, good man, and so I shall allow this breach of etiquette, but if you fail to address Lady Leviva properly again, I'll have you spit shining the privy back at Durandare Manor. Oh, leave him be, Janikanar. Without Quimperane here, I'd have been tied up and shipped back to the old world moons ago. The stars have him here with me. He is not going anywhere, and neither am I. I am done with the symposiums. This is not what my father wanted. He came here not to speak of astrology, he came here to use it. And so that is what I shall do. There are still many convictors who can benefit from these magics. And what a better way to convince people of your greatness than by ensuring they remain alive long enough to sing your praises. Honestly, a fair point. Jan, will you tell me of my father? I would be delighted, my lady. Unless, that is, you mean now, as I have a prior engagement with a pair of lovely baronesses from House the Mail, and I would not wish to keep them waiting. Of course. Can't count on him for anything. A prior arrangement. Of course he has. I suppose my father's journal will have to suffice until then. Yeah, did we expect anything else from him? Alright, back to Ishgard. So Jan, how was that meeting with those baronesses? You were awfully quick. I teleported back here, you're already done. To think that my old friend Rufin may have seen what grim fate awaited him in Ishgard, but chose to come anyway, knowing that it would inspire both me and his daughter. God, sometimes these celestial machinations are simply too grand in scope to grasp. However, if it is as we believe, then we must, as Quimprain so bluntly stated, make sure that not disrupt us on our path to that fate. Perhaps it is time I revealed to you a more powerful form of Malefic, so that you might be better prepared for the trials that are to follow. Ah, that furrow upon your brow suggests you could have used the spell earlier in your training. In retrospect, I would be inclined to agree, haha. And we get Malefic 2, which I think it's just a slight potency increase. We'll have to double check. Alright, our new ability, Malefic 2. Malefic is 150 potency, Malefic 2 is 160. So that is a very, very slight upgrade. It's an upgrade, don't get me wrong. It's another... Let me actually check. How much of an upgrade is that to our single target damage? That is a 6.6% or 6.7% upgrade to our single target damage. So that is not nothing. That is actually a pretty good upgrade. It just also feels a little tiny bit underwhelming, I'm gonna be honest. Oh well. And with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, quite a while ago at this point, my raid group cleared out Garuda Extreme again on Mind difficulty. So we're going to be checking out how that went. I will see everyone next time for that, and then next week, we move into the second half of Heavensward.